Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Juwan Howard makes an emotional return to Ann Arbor.
I'm back to help continue this Michigan tradition.
Why the Fab Five great says now is the perfect time to start a new chapter wearing maize and blue.
A report of stranger danger outside a Detroit school, how the student made all the right moves.
But we begin with a stroke of the pen that affects every Michigan driver. Governor Whitmer signs a bill aimed at lowering some of the nation's highest auto insurance rates. With a group of bipartisan lawmakers as a backdrop, the governor signed the bill today on Mackinac.
And while there's still plenty of details left to be ironed out, the governor promises relief is coming. Let's get to Devin, who's up on Mackinac for the policy conference. And Devin, the governor is hoping this can serve as a springboard on other big issues.
Exactly right, Kimberly and Jason. You know I've been coming to this conference for many, many years. I've never seen a scene quite like this morning's. So many people packed on this end of the porch, you thought the hotel might tilt and dump us all into the Straits of Mackinac. Everybody here, not just to watch this this bill being signed into law, but to celebrate what had made it happen, something we just haven't seen very often. Compromise.
And I think it's historic, too, that I'm signing a bill about car insurance in the one place where you can't drive a car.
As festive and bipartisan an atmosphere as we've seen on Mackinac in some time, Governor Whitmer led the celebration to sign Senate Bill number 1 into law.
Here we go.
For the people of Michigan, and especially for the people of the city of Detroit. This is an excellent piece of legislation. It doesn't solve everything, but it moves us dramatically down the road.
How unusual was this scene? Consider these words from Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey. This is a Republican senator talking about the Democratic governor.
I'm especially proud of my governor. My governor found an opportunity, discovered the possibilities, and engaged at exactly the right time for us to be able to do this.
But can all of these good feelings, this moment of cooperation, now lead to agreement on fixing Michigan's prehistoric roads? Just how far can this new ecumenicalism go?
I am excited to be here today, and I am really looking forward to putting the same kind of gusto that we put into this toward getting a budget done that, yes, closes the skills gap, cleans up drinking water, makes our education system a top 10 one, and fixes the damn roads, right?
No longer will Michigan motorists be required to buy unlimited medical coverage with their car insurance. Democratic State Senator Marshall Bullock says he gives the new law a B-, and yet he's ecstatic that it's passed.
Everywhere I went, I talked about the dinosaur or the elephant. How do you eat that? That answer is one bite at a time. Well, for the first time in 45 years, we've taken a giant bite out of the elephant.
And it is so. Come on, step forward. Where's Jim? Come on in.
And it is so. This also gets rid of so many of those non-driving factors. A quick note about that. No longer will marital status, for instance, be a part of it. I was talking to Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. Now, she just lost her 92-year-old husband, John Dingell, earlier this year, who wasn't exactly driving her anywhere. She just got a notice that as a widow now, her insurance rates were due to go up $2,000 a year. These are the kind of frustrations that Michiganders have been dealing with for so long. Again, nobody calling it the perfect bill, but a big bite out of the elephant or the dinosaur. Pick your metaphor. Back to you guys.
Yeah, it certainly is good news, but it's going to take a while before these new rates are phased in. I know a lot of people, myself included, live in the city of Detroit where we see really, really high rates. Did she talk about or how long it's going to take for this to actually take effect?
It is going to take a while. There are deadlines. They're hoping that those deadlines will actually be will be ahead of those. It's probably going to take about a 2-year process for all of this to get worked out to the way that everybody wants to see it, and then we'll really be able to read exactly what has been done. And hopefully, if you have to, then as Marshall Bullock was telling me, Senator Bullock, you have to go back in and tinker with it. Then at least you've got a place to do that.
Right. We've made the first step, and maybe now on to the fixing the roads. All right, Devin. We'll talk to you a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says they were tears of joy Juwan Howard makes his emotional return to Ann Arbor as the new head basketball coach of the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, Bernie's here now. You can tell this job means a lot to him, but the fact remains he's never been a head coach before on any level.
You're exactly right. So that is the big question. That is the dinosaur elephant in the room, or whatever metaphor you'd like to use. Right. Always love to steal from co-workers. Juwan Howard returned to Michigan today as a conquering hero. All phases of the man were on display, including that electric smile, that terrific personality, and that soft side that the mother of every prospective recruit will love. We've got highlights of Howard, introduced at noon as the 17th coach of Michigan basketball. As you know, he's a former member of the Fab Five, and the enormity of the moment hit him when he began the press conference. I have never seen a press conference start the way that started. Where did that come from?
That comes from a place of like something that you love and you really care about, and you know that holds a special place in your heart. It was like a tears of joy.
You were overcome by the moment, I think is what happened to you, right?
It was more of like thinking back to my grandmother, how proud she is at this moment, because I remember the time when she passed away. It was the day when I signed my letter of intent to attend the University of Michigan. So I started having those thoughts in my head, but I was also excited about the chance to come back to a place that I love so much.
So who are you today compared to who you were then?
A guy who's still a leader. I've had a chance to grow with a family that I helped, start it, and my wife played a huge role in it.
That's nice of you.
Yeah. So that person hasn't changed much, just matured.
That's Juwan Howard right there. He said he knows there are plenty of doubters since this is his first head coaching job. You'll hear how he answers those folks coming up at 6.
Yeah, nice of him to mention his grandmother. He must have been really close to her.
Yeah, she raised him in Chicago, so that was a big, big thing. Yeah. But it was really sweet to see. He's the same personality, same person when he was here as a player.
Should translate to good recruiting.
Yeah.
That's a guy you'd want to see in the living room.
Oh, you get the mom saying yes. You got the kid, I think.
That's right.
All right, we'll talk to you later, Bernie.
Well, it's so close, you can just about hear the engine starting to fire up and roar as the weekend approaches, but we would like a little bit better weather.
We would, so let's get over to Ben with a look at what's in store before we go racing. Hi, Ben.
Money talks, guys. You want that forecast to change. We got to see something in the kitty. Yeah, unfortunately, we will be seeing some showers and storms, at least for part of the weekend, and we've got some of those out there now on 4 Live radar. You can see that line that's in Washtenaw County. No lightning strikes there, but some downpours, even though they are small. They're moving to the southeast about 30-35 miles an hour, so Ypsi, you're going to see these in about 10 minutes. Saline will be there about 5:19, and Belleville about 5:25 as that line continues off to the southeast. So for the rest of tonight, temperatures elsewhere are going to be probably getting close to 70 as the clouds are starting to break in other spots. Drying out tonight as we get past the 8 o'clock hour. Everybody should be dry going into the 60s, and we'll talk more about the rough stuff potentially for Saturday, especially looking at that very closely in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben. Tonight, the Detroit mother says she was on the phone with her 10-year-old son when a stranger walked up to him and offered him candy.
Yeah, all she could do was tell the boy to run as fast as he could and get inside the Plymouth Educational Center this morning, right near I-75 and East Warren, and he did. Sean Lay is live at the school tonight. Sean, what are police saying about this?
I tell you what, we're going to break down everything that the 10-year-old told police. And if you follow his footsteps here, he made all the right moves to get to safety.
That's real scary.
Brittany Howes was at work when her 10-year-old son called her. Monte was walking a very short distance to school, saying that a man not only approached him, but continued to follow him down the street.
Somebody, as my son was walking to school, somebody was trying to kidnap him, take him, asked him, do he want candy? He said no, and I told him to run. He ran all the way to school.
Brittany left work in a panic.
All the whole time he was on the phone with me. He said they trying to get me, and I told him to run and run and run and don't stop, and that's what he did.
It happened as Monte was walking that short distance from his home to Plymouth Educational Center at East Forest and Russell, just east of I-75 near Warren. Monte cut through behind a building to safely make it to school. Detroit police out searching for that man.
He's a white male. My son said he's about 6'1", 6'3", He had shorts on, black shirt, slim built. He had a sword at the bottom of his leg.
Like a tattoo?
A tattoo.
A tattoo of a sword?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At the bottom of his leg.
Back here live, the student here, Monte, safely inside the school meeting with about 4 Detroit police officers. He was able to give them a great description of this guy to give police all the information they needed to fan out into the neighborhood and start looking for him. No sign since that report. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4.
Yeah, especially the description of the sword tattoo on his leg. Maybe somebody knows something and will say something. All right, Sean, thank you.
The string of sexual abuse cases against R. Kelly is ramping up tonight, with prosecutors hitting the R&B singer with 11 new felony sexual assault charges.
3 of those charges are for aggravated criminal sexual abuse of victims between the ages of 13 and 16. Add these new charges to the 10 counts of sexual abuse from back in February, and R. Kelly could spend the rest of his life in prison if convicted. Right now, he's out on a $1 million bond. R. Kelly is due back in court in 1 week.
Much more to come on a busy Thursday. Here's defender Kevin Dietz.
It was supposed to be a booming business for a local entrepreneur until the police kept crashing the party. The story is coming up.
And a student takes the stand and goes into detail explaining how ex-MSU Dean William Strample terrified her.
But first, how the son of a missing woman for 20 years is helping to breathe new life into this cold case. That's next.